Ciao a tutti e benvenuti al Tavolo Italiano. Today we're going to be talking about telling time in Italian. A few footnotes before we start. This lesson assumes that you know your Italian numbers, at least up to the number 60. You'll also need to be familiar with aspects of grammatical gender. A couple other things that will be discussed is plural and singular of nouns and words that need to agree with the nouns, including the definite articles. In addition, there's always, as always, more information and additional exercises available at tavoloitaliano.com, where all the online information about learning Italian is always free. And like any aspect of Italian grammar, it takes practice to really gain an understanding of and ability to use what you'll learn here, so parli italiano. Pronto? Okay, let's get started. Che ora è? O che ore sono? Both of these mean, what time is it? The first one you'll notice, che, the word for what, ora, hour, è, third person singular of essere. So you're saying, what hour is it? In this particular sentence, everything agrees. It's all singular. Che ora è? What hour is it? Or we have che ore sono? Che, what, ore, plural for hours, and sono, third person plural of essere. Or are. What hours are they? So we have che ore è or che ore sono. Entirely interchangeable. Doesn't matter which one you use. You can use whichever one you want. You just can't mix the two together. They have to be in agreement. It has to all be plural or all be singular. So, che ora è o che ore sono. Okay, expressing the time in Italian is very simple. All we do is we conjugate the verb essere accordingly for the hour, and then we express the hour just in a number. We don't have to say the word hour. There is no Italian version of o'clock in this case. And we put the definite article for the hour in front of it, and it has to be in agreement with the hour. What do I mean by that? All the hours are treated as if they're feminine. Let's start off with 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is the only hour that is singular. All the rest of them are plural, and all of them are feminine. Since it's singular, the form of essere that we're going to use is the third person singular, è. And the definite article is going to be L apostrophe, Elle apostrophe. The reason being is it's a singular feminine noun that begins with a vowel. So, che ora è? È l'una. It's 1 o'clock. See, una being singular feminine, l'una, è l'una. However, if it's 2 o'clock and on, now it's plural feminine. So instead of L apostrophe, we use LE or le. And the verb has to go from essere to sono, third person plural, in order to be in agreement with the noun. So while it's è l'una, for it's 1 o'clock, it's now sono le due. So can you guess what 3 o'clock would be? That's right, sono le tre. 4 o'clock, sono le quattro. Sono le 5, sono le 6, sono le 7, sono le 8, sono le 9, sono le 10, sono le 11, sono le 12. Obviously, everything after 1 o'clock is plural. Therefore, they're all going to be sono and le, the definite article, and then the number itself. Facile, no? Okay, let's move on. Che ore è or che ore sono? What happens if it's not straight up 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock and we need to express minutes? Well, in Italian it's actually quite easy. Mi scusa. For instance, 8:10. Sono le 8:10. Okay, we already figured out how to do the sono le 8. It's sono le 8 because obviously 8 is plural. And it's considered feminine, so we use the definite article le and sono, so the verb agrees with the noun, Sono le 8. To add the minutes, all we do is add the word e, Italian for and then the number that represents the minutes. 10, without any article at all. So, sono le 8:10. È l'1:29. Okay, it's still è l'una because it's still only 1 hour. So we have a, third person singular, of the verb essere. L'una, L' because it's singular and begins with a vowel. Then we have the word e and 29, the number to represent the minutes without any article at all. So è l'1:29. Handled the same way as sono le 8:10. Sono le 4:01. It's 4:01. Sono le 9:21. Beginning to see the pattern? 11:13 would be sono le 11:13. Okay? So, sono le 11 being plural feminine, so it gets le and sono, so the verb agrees, e 13 in 13 minutes. Sono le 2:08. Sono le 7:28. Sono le 5:04. Okay, sono le 5, it is 5, e 4 in 4 minutes. Facile, no? Very easy. Okay. However, che ora è or che ore sono? What happens if the minutes go beyond the 30 mark? Now, in English, we actually change how we can express that time if we so choose to do so, because here we might say it's 3:15, it's 3:20, it's 3:25. Once we get past the 30 mark, we can still say it's 3:35, but more often than not, a lot of people say it's 25 till 4, or it's 10 till 4 instead of saying 3:50. Well, the same is true in Italian. For instance, let's take the time 5:55. You could say sono le 5:55. Okay, it's 5 and 55, just like we just learned. Sono le 5:55. Or, you can say sono le 6:05. So, sono le 6 is done exactly the way we already discussed in the first screen, where we got into actually talking about time. They are the 6 hours, sono le 6. Meno, the Italian word for minus, 5. Still just express the minutes with a number without the article, any article at all. So we have it's 6 minus 5, or 5 till 6, as we would say in English. So sono le 5:55, o sono le 6:05. Now, since we're giving examples of the minutes beyond the 30 mark after the hour expressed in this fashion, we're only going to be discussing the second option. So for 5:37, we would have sono le 6:23, because 60 minus 37 leaves 23, meaning it's 23 minutes till 6. So sono le 6, it's 6:23. Or we have è l'1:10. È l'una, okay, we already know how to arrive to that. Singular feminine noun, una, L', and e, so the verb agrees, è l'1:10. It's 1 minus 10, or 12:50. Sono le 8:20. It's 8 minus 20, which would be 20 till 8, or 7:40. Sono le 12:2. It's 12 minus 2, 11:58. Sono le 4:05. It's 4 minus 5, or 3:55. Sono le 2:17. Okay, it's 2 minus 17, 17 till 2, or 1:43. Okay, so you got that? Finally, sono le 5:25. 4:35, 25 till 5. Sono le 5:25. Very good. Okay, so far we've discussed if it's right up on the hour. Sono le 3, è l'una, etc. We discussed adding minutes. Sono le 3:10. It's 10 after 3. And then we discussed what you do, or what you can do, if the minutes go beyond the 30 mark. Sono le 4:10. It's 10 till 4. Now, The next thing we're going to discuss is quarto e mezzo. Quarto being a quarter, e mezzo being a half. E mezzogiorno or e mezzanotte. Okay, mezzogiorno, as you could probably guess, is half day. Giorno being day, mezzo being half. Now notice here we have mezzogiorno and mezzanotte. Be careful to take note of that and keep everything in agreement. Giorno being masculine requires mezzo, which is also masculine. Whereas notte, which is feminine, requires mezza, which is also feminine. Now they're both singular, so they both get the third person singular form of essere or e. So e mezzogiorno or e mezzanotte. Mezzogiorno, half day, would be noon. Mezzanotte, being half night, would be midnight. So e mezzogiorno, it's noon. Or e mezzanotte, it's midnight. Now, back to the clock. When we get to 5:15, you could just say sono le 5:15. See? I mean, that's what we discussed. You simply add the minutes without an article behind the hour. We already know how to get sono le 5, and then we know it's e, which is and, 15. Sono le 5:15. It's 5 and 15. It's 15 after 5. Or we have a new option since it's on the quarter hour. Just like here, you hear people say it's a quarter after 5, it's a quarter till 3, etc. In this case, it would be sono le 5:15. So 5:15 is sono le 5:15 o sono le 5:15. Now, since you're going to say quarter, you do have to use an indefinite article here after the Italian verb for and or e. So sono le 5, it is 5, e un quarto. It is 5 and a quarter. Now going back to our word mezzo up above for half. The same is true if it's 5:30 or sono le 5:30. You can also say o sono le 5:30. And no, you do not use an article here. Not real sure why, but that's Italian, and we're going to go with it. So we have sono le 5:15 or sono le 5:15 for it's 5:15. Sono le 5:30 or we can say sono le 5:30. It's 5:30. Now can you guess what the next one's going to be? 5:45. But we're going to do it the same way we do numbers beyond the 30 mark. We could say sono le 5:45, or we can say sono le 6 meno un quarto. It's 6 minus a quarter, or it's a quarter to 6. So focusing just on using quarto or mezzo, let's go down there real quick. We have sono le 5:15. It's 5:15. Sono le 5:30. It's 5:30. Sono le 6 meno un quarto. It's a quarter to 6. And then we also have mezzogiorno o mezzanotte. Mezzogiorno o mezzanotte. Noon or midnight. Okay, one thing we haven't talked about is the 12-hour versus a 24-hour, or what we call in the U.S. military time clocks. In Italy, you'll find that most official type actions that take place require a 24-hour clock, for instance, in the airports, train stations, things of that nature. Anything after 12 noon, the clock continues to count up to 24. So, for instance, instead of 2 in the afternoon, it's 1400 hours. I just take the hours after 12 noon and you add it to the number 12. So 2 in the afternoon is 2 plus 12, 1400 hours. So if someone said, "Que hora è?" and it was a situation where they said, "A que hora?" at what hour? Something take place and it was an official situation, you may hear sono le 13 instead of l'una. It's at 1300 hours. Excuse me. For personal functions, however, someone invites you over to dinner, you're meeting someone for a party, things of that nature, the 12-hour clock is commonly used. So in which case it would be just like in the U.S. Instead of if something was happening at 7 at night, instead of saying, it's going to be at 7 o'clock, alle 19, it would be alle 7, or sono le 7. Now, if you're using a 12-hour clock, there may be times when you need to distinguish when during a day that happens. So if you needed to express 8 o'clock in the morning versus 8 o'clock in the evening, and you felt that you needed to express that and didn't want to use a 24-hour clock, you could just say, if it was a 24-hour clock and it was in the evening, you could say sono le 20 or alle 20. Obviously, if someone's asking what time it is, they're going to know if it's evening or morning. But 20 would represent 8 o'clock in the evening. However, though, if you're expressing when something starts, and otto from sono le 8 doesn't express morning or evening, and if it's not clear in the context of the conversation, you'd say 8 di mattina. Okay, so 8 di mattina for morning. For afternoon, it would be, we have the expression di pomeriggio, and that when you actually change the di to del. So, per esempio, due del pomeriggio, 2 in the afternoon. Evening is sera, as you probably recognize from buonasera. So, 8 o'clock in the evening, 8 di sera, and di notte. So, 3 di notte would be 3 in the morning, or at night. In esempio, I have 9 di mattina, which would be like 9 in the morning or 9 a.m. is how we would express that here. Bravo. Telling time in Italian. Che ore è? Okay, adesso you should be an expert at this. So we have a little test here. Let's see how you do. First one is 1 o'clock. How would you say 1 o'clock in Italian? E luna, that's correct. If you said e luna, you got it right. E luna. 5:15. Sono le 5:15, or sono le 5:15. 5:55. Sono le 5:55, or sono le 6:05. First one's 5:55. Sono le 5:55, or sono le 6:05. 6 minus 5, or 5 till 6. It's 3 o'clock. Did you say sono le 3? Sono le 3. What if it's 1:29? E l'una è 29. E l'una è 29. It's 1:29. Okay, what if it's 5:30? There's another one with options. You could say sono le 5:30, or sono le 5:30. It's 5:30, or it's 5:30. So it's 5:30, or it's 5:30. Could you also say sono le 6:30? Okay, 5:37. What if it's 5:37? Sono le 5:37, o sono le 6:23. So it's 5:37, or it's 23 minutes till 6. Sono le 5:37, or sono le 6:23. Okay, if it's 8:10, Sono le 8:10. Facile, no? Simply express the hour. Sono le 8. And the minutes as a number without an article. Sono le 8:10. It's 8 and 10, or it's 8:10. Okay, 5:45. A couple more choices. Sono le 5:45. It's 5:45. Or you could simply say sono le 6:45. Once again, you actually have a third choice here. You could say sono le 6:15. That's right. Sono le 6:15. It's 6 minus 15 or 15 till 6. So sono le 5:45 it is 5:45. Sono le 6:15 it's a quarter till 6. And sono le 6:15 it's 15 minutes till 6. And our last one, 12 o'clock. Okay, you had a few choices for this one, right? Could have said sono le 12, it's 12 o'clock. Or if you want to be more specific, you could say è mezzogiorno, it's noon. Or è mezzanotte, it's midnight. Well, grazie mille. There you have it. I hope that's helpful in your exploits of learning how to tell time in Italian, how to express time in Italian. There's more information and more exercises on the subject at Italiano.com, where all the information online is always free, along with a wealth of other information, other grammatical topics, Italian-American pen pals, photos of Italy, recipes, etc., etc. Please stop by and check us out. We'd love to see that you stop by, Tavolo.com. Grazie mille. Glad you stopped by the Italian table. Once again, I really hope this helps. Hope to see you soon. So, parlo italiano e ciao.